What's going on out there, people? I know it's been a while, but I'm back. I'm here. I'm me, and I'm here to tell you guys what I think about the upcoming NFL season, or better yet, previewing the season as a whole, if you will. Because we know the NFL is one of the hardest things to predict. We know who's going to be at the top, know who's going to be at the bottom. We don't know who's going to surprise. But anyway, here are the most intriguing things, in my opinion, to be on the lookout for. I'm going to start off with probably the biggest factor going to everything that's going to happen this year is these replacement referees. Now, everybody knows how much the refs dictate games, whether it be baseball, whether it be basketball, football, hockey, whatever. Referees are the guys who predict, or I should say, they dictate the outcome of games more than anybody else besides the players on the field, or the players in the game, I should say. These replacement refs, I watched a couple of preseason games, and when you hear that, you got Division II referees, you got some high school referees, you got little known college. It's like you got a group of refs who are not accustomed to big time atmosphere, big time environments that they're going into. A scale as big as the NFL, which is arguably America's most popular sport. When you got replacement guys coming in dictating everything that goes on in it, it's not going to be too well. It's not going to be brought in with the assumption that we're going to have a worry-free season. No, this is going to be a season of worry because we don't know how they're going to you got to look at the preseason as basically their practice for the regular season. And we don't know what calls they can make. I mean, something as small as a holding call can be real huge at the end of a game. You never know what's going to happen. Little things matter in the NFL, and with these replacement refs, that's one thing you got to keep an eye out for. So far, what I've seen in the preseason, I haven't seen much as the preseason has gone along. They've gotten a little bit better, but I've still seen some bad calls being made, all this other stuff. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. The other big story, in my opinion, are the rookie quarterbacks or young quarterbacks that are going to be starting. Russell Wilson is going to be a starter in Seattle. He's a rookie. Tannehill is a starter in Miami. He's a rookie. We got Cam Newton and Andy Dalton. Can they avoid the sophomore slump? Brandon Weeden is a rookie down in Cleveland. Jake Locker has been named a starter in Tennessee. I mean, you got a lot of young quarterbacks in this league this year that are going to have heavy expectations going onto their shoulders. And the thing is, when you look at the younger guys, you can't. That's one thing that I hate about the NFL is that so much is brought on through expectations instead of realistic thoughts of what could happen in the league. I mean, everybody's expecting Cam Newton to be great again this year. Everybody's expecting Andy Dalton to come out and be superb again this year. Let's not forget, when you're a rookie and you come into a league, no matter what the league is, no one knows what to expect from you. No one knows your game style, your game plan. They don't know how you're going to come out and attack them from the forefront. Sure, you can say, hey, you got a chance to see this guy all year long. But the thing is, how often do you play that guy, even though you get to see him all year long? It's different in the NBA where you play a team probably 3 or 4 times, or hockey where you play a team 4, 5, 6 times. You get a chance to see that person more often. In the NFL, you only get to see that guy one time. And after that one season, so much tape is brought in on what you can do that teams go after and attack. They try to limit what you can do. So the rookie guys, the Russell Wilsons, the Tannehills, those guys are going to have a learning curve because we don't know what to really expect from them. Sometimes they have looked good. Other times they haven't looked as great. Russell Wilson has looked spectacular in the Seattle uniform. But when you look at a guy like Cam Newton is a dynamic dual threat quarterback. He can run, he can throw, he's big, he's strong, he's powerful, he can create out of broken situations, all that stuff. He can do all that. But the thing is, just like Michael Vick, you figure these guys out and you limit what they can do. And the NFL is no stranger to doing things like that. So that's just another thing to be on the lookout for. These young quarterbacks, will they be able to handle the pressure that's being thrown onto their shoulders, the expectations that's being thrown on them? Guys like Josh Freeman as well, he's come in lighter. They're saying that he could possibly lead this team, given that they added Vincent Jackson, a legitimate threat for him to throw the ball to. We got to see if these guys can put it all together. Another thing, expectations. Like I just said, Cam Newton, we're expecting great things from him. You look at the Chicago Bears. We're expecting them to be great. Cutler and Marshall are reunited again. Peyton Manning, they're expecting him to come in and be the Peyton Manning of old, even though he doesn't have the weapons he once had in Indianapolis. I mean, there's a lot of things. Oh, yeah, the two other rookies I didn't bring up, RG3 and Andrew Luck. We already know what those guys are capable of. But like I said, those guys get figured out as well. But there are expectations on those guys' shoulders as well. The NFL has so many expectations. Everybody knows what has to happen for a team to win. When I look at a team like Philadelphia, we know in order for them to win, Michael Vick has to stay healthy. Can he stay healthy? Can he learn to protect himself? Can this offensive line learn to come together to protect him? That's one thing you got to look out for. Cam Newton, we're expecting him to go and be a Pro Bowler yet again. But are people going to figure him out? Are people going to limit what he's able to do? That's another thing you got to look out for. I mean, there's so many things that you can go and expect from a team to perform. I mean, you can look at any team in the NFL outside of a team like maybe Arizona, the Cleveland Browns, or those guys like that. You can go out and look and say, hey, this is what they have to do to win. But is it going to happen? With Pittsburgh, we know they're going to be a mainstay because of their defense. The thing is, can James Harrison stay from getting suspended? The Saints, we know what they can do even though they don't have Sean Payton and all those other GM executive guys that have been suspended for the year. Can Drew Brees fill that void that Sean Payton is leaving? We know what these guys can do. Can we expect Matt Stafford to hook up with Calvin Johnson the way he did? Will the Madden curse be a problem for Calvin Johnson? We all know about the Madden curse. We saw what it did to Peyton Hillis last year. The man had a great year. The previous year, he gets on the cover of Madden. What happens? Okay, will Calvin Johnson be able to break that Madden curse streak? We'll have to see. There's a lot of things you can pinpoint on what's going to happen in the NFL, but we have to wait to see if it actually comes to fruition. There are a lot of teams out there who we'd love to see do great, but who knows? In the AFC, my early predictions, I mean, you can look at Baltimore, who are a field goal away from going to the Super Bowl. You can look at Pittsburgh. Is Mike Wallace going to be willing to play his heart out for a team that doesn't want to give him a long-term contract? Is Arian Foster going to stay healthy all season long? Is Matt Schaub going to go down again? I mean, there's a lot of things you can look at in the AFC, but my early prediction right now, you cannot go wrong with the New England Patriots. That's always the safe bet. That's always a good bet, but as it has been in previous years, the running game. They got Stephen Ridley back there, but the thing is, the running game has not always been their preeminent offensive strike. It's always been them passing the ball. But on the flip side of things, it was the secondary that was their problem. Will the secondary be able to hold up? We don't know yet. So now we look at the NFC. NFC, everybody wants to say the Giants are still the favorites. You lose out on Mario Manningham, who was a key cog in those guys playing. Brandon Jacobs is no longer there, so you no longer have that red zone threat. Granted that he didn't do as great as he has in previous years. There are a lot of things you can look at in the NFC because I could still give Philadelphia the benefit of the doubt of doing something great. You got Macklin and Jackson, but can Vic stay healthy? You got the San Francisco 49ers. Can that defense repeat itself? That's the hardest thing to do in the NFL, is to repeat yourself. We all know that Green Bay is going to be at the top of the heap, but the thing is, Green Bay did it without a great defense. San Francisco did it with a great defense, but can that great defense do it again? They had the best run defense in the NFL. That's one of the hardest things to repeat. We can't forget that the year that Green Bay won it, their defense was great, but then to come the next year, they had one of the worst defenses in the league. It's a lot of things you could pinpoint. I don't really think the defense will be the thing for San Francisco. I would say, can Alex Smith finally come to utilize the weapons around him? Vernon Davis, Randy Moss, Mario Manningham, Michael Crabtree, Frank Gore in the backfield. It's a lot of things that this man has at his disposal, but can he use them all to his advantage to get that team over the hump offensively? It remains to be seen. There are a lot of factors. I haven't even talked about the Bears because they look good as well. Matt Forte and Michael Bush both in the backfield is looking tremendous. I mean, you can never go wrong with a two-headed monster in the run game. But the NFL is one of the hardest things to predict. I can't give clear-cut predictions because, like I said, there's so many differentiating factors that you have to take into consideration when you look at a game like the NFL. But for me personally, I will say that this NFL season, I look at it like the NBA's previous year when anything was possible. You didn't know who was going to come out and do what. I look at the NFL like that this year. I'm excited for the NFL. I can't wait for the season to start next week. It's going to be exciting. Wednesday, I think it's the Giants and 49ers, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember clearly right now, but I do know that it will be a great game. I know that this will be a great season, and hopefully we will be entertained. It's Larry Jenkins. Let me know what you guys think. Holler at me. Comment down below. Blaze1878 on YouTube. Blazing Sports on Twitter. Blazing Sports Support on Facebook. Just hit me up. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.